Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Thank you for coming.
Marley was dead. To begin with, there was no doubt about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead. Of course he did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary legatee, his sole friend, and sole mourner. And even Scrooge, not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event, but was an excellent man of business on the very day of the funeral, and solemnized it with an undoubted bargain. Now, the mention of Marley's funeral brings me back to the point I started from. There was no doubt that Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I'm going to relate. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name from atop the warehouse door. So there it stood, years afterwards, Scrooge and Marley. The name of the firm was Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people new to the business called Scrooge Scrooge, and sometimes Marley. But he answered to both names. It was all the same to him. Oh, but he was a tight-handed fist at the grindstone. Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Hard and sharp as flint, in which no steel ever struck out generous fire. Secret and self-contained, and solitary as an oyster. The cold within him nipped his pointed nose, shriveled his cheeks, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and he spoke out shrewdly in his grating voice. There's a frosty rime on his head, and his eyebrows and his wiry chin. Carried his own low temperature always about with him. He iced his office in the dog days, and didn't thaw it 1 degree at Christmas. Nobody ever stopped him in the streets to say, with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggars implored him to bestow a trifle. No children asked him what it was o'clock. No man or woman ever inquired to such and such a place of Scrooge. Even the blind men's dogs seemed to know him, and when they saw him coming, would tug their owners up courts and alleys, then wag their tails as though they said, "No eye at all is better than an evil eye, dark master." But what did Scrooge care? It was the very thing he liked, to edge his way along the crowded paths of life, where need all human sympathy to keep its distance, was what the knowing ones called nuts to Scrooge. Now, once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy withal, and he could hear the people outside go wheezing up and down, stamping their feet against the pavement stones to warm them. The clocks had only just gone 3, but it was quite dark already. It had not been light all day, and candles were flaring in the windows of neighboring offices like ruddy smears upon the palpable brown air. The door to Scrooge's counting house was open, so that he might keep his eye on his clerk, who in a dismal little cell beyond was copying letters. Scrooge had a small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like 1 coal. But he could not replenish it, for Scrooge kept the coal box in his own room.
I am assuming you've noted the expensive coal in your work today.
Sir? Ah, yes. Sorry, sir.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Bah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What is Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer? A time for going through your books and having every item in them for a round dozen of months presented dead against you. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes around with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding, buried with a stake of holly through his heart. Oh. Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
If you leave it alone then, much good it may do you, much good it has ever done you.
There are many things in this world which I've found good, which I've not profited, I dare say, Christmas among the rest. But I've always thought of Christmas now when it's come around as a kind time, a caring, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The one time I know of in the long calendar of the year when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and think of people below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave, not just another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though there's never been a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I say it's done me good. It will do me good, and I say God bless it.
Let me hear another sound out of you. You'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. It's a wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
Dine with you? Bah, an excuse. An excuse for stuffing one's face and making merry when the one thing they should be worried about is the idle and impoverished state of one's own affairs. It would better suit me to be dead and buried than to dine with you.
But why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Oh, because you fell in love. Good afternoon, sir.
may, Uncle, but you never came to see me before that happened. Why give us a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I asked nothing of you. I got nothing from you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute, Uncle. But I've made my homage to Child of Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas word to the last. So Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Uncle Credit.
And to you too, sir. Merry Christmas.
Another fellow. My clerk, 15 shillings a week, wife and family, talking of a Merry Christmas. I retired to bed.
Two ladies to see you, sir. Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Who had the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge, or Mr. Marley.
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very day.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that you should make a slight provision for the poor and destitute of a great at a time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries, and hundreds of thousands are in want of common comfort, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are, still I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor then?
Both very busy, sir.
From what you had said, I thought something had happened to stop them in their very useful course. I am very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that they are scarcely furnished with Christian cheer or mind of the body of the multitude, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of life. We choose this time because it is the festive time when want is thinly found, and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for, sir?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, ladies, that is my answer. I do not make merry myself at Christmas, and I cannot afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned, and they cost enough. Those who are badly off must feel there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
They'd rather die, they'd better do it. Decrease the surplus population.
Sir, surely you...
It's not my business! It is enough for a man to understand his own business, let alone other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good day, ladies.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let not be you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
Not convenient. And it's not fair. It's hard to stop a half a crown for if you think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. You don't think yourself ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
But sir, 'tis only once a year.
Poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the full day.
Sir,
Be here all the earlier the next day.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Merry.
Ahem.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Rest ye merry gentlemen, here to stay. Music spell, Christ our Savior, on Christmas Day. To save us all from Satan's power, we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all of the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's book, went home to bed. He lived in chambers that had once belonged to his deceased partner. They were a gloomy suite of rooms. Now, it is a fact that there is nothing at all particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was quite large. It is also a fact that Scrooge had seen it night and day during his whole residence in the place. Also, that Scrooge had his little what is called fancy about him, as any man in the city of London. Also, let it be borne in mind that Scrooge had not bestowed a single thought on his deceased partner Marley since earlier that afternoon. Then let any man explain to me, if he can, how it happened that Scrooge, having his key in the lock of the door, saw in the knocker, without it undergoing any intermediate process of change, not a knocker, but Marley's face. As Scrooge looked fixedly at this phenomenon, it became a knocker again. To say that he was not startled, or that his blood was not conscious of a terrible sensation to which it had been a stranger from infancy, would be untrue. But he took a hold of the key he had relinquished, turned it steadily, and walked in. He did pause with a moment's irresolution first, to look behind the door, as if he half expected to be terrified by the sight of Marley's pigtails sticking out into the hall. But there was nothing on the back of the door except the nuts and screws that held the knocker on. He locked the door and walked across the hall and lighted his candle. He walked across the hall and up the stairs, slowly too, trimming his candle as he went. Up Scrooge went. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. But he walked through all his rooms to make sure all was right. He had just enough recollection of the face to desire to do so. Sitting room, lumber room, bedroom, all as they should be. Nobody under the table, nobody under the sofa. A small fire in the grate, spoon and basin ready, and a little saucepan of gruel upon the hob. Nobody under the bed, nobody in the closet, nobody in his dressing gown, which hung in a suspicious fashion against the wall. Lumber room as usual, old fire guards, old shoes, 2 fish baskets, a washing stand on 3 legs, and a poker. Quite satisfied, he locked himself in. Double locked himself in, which was not his custom. Thus secured against surprise, he sat down before the fire to take his gruel. It was a very low fire indeed. Nothing on such a bitter night. He was obliged to sit close to it and brood over it to extract the least sensation of heat from such a handful of fuel.
Humbug all the same. I won't believe it. How now? Who are you? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit?
I can.
Do it.
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. So like sort of stomach makes them cheat. You can be undigested. A lot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. It's more gravy than a grave about you, whatever you are.
Man of the worldly mind! Do you believe in me or not?
I do. Why do spirits walk the earth? What do they want with me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should go forth and walk around among his fellow men. And if that spirit goes forth out of life, it is condemned to do so after in death. It is doomed to wander through the world. Oh, woe is me! And witness one cannot share, when a blight of shame turn to happiness on earth. Ah!
Your attitude. The chain. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I turned it out of my own free will I wore. Is its pattern so strange to you, or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was heavy on this 7 or 6 years ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Jacob, oh Jacob, Bonnie, be comfort to me.
I am not begin. It is conveyed by the ministers to the kinds of men. Ebenezer. Lord, I tell you what I will. Your birth is more resolved. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. In life, my straight never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing goal, and weary journeys lie before me. Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
I will. Do not be too hard upon me.
I am here tonight to warn you. Ebenezer, you have a chance yet in hope of my procuring.
Oh, you were always such a good friend to me, thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
This chance you hope you mentioned, Jacob.
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without these, it is your hope to shun the path I tread. Spend the first tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1.
Can't I just take them all at once and have it over with?
Expect the second on the next night at the same time, the third upon the next night for the last stroke of 12 and cease to reverence. Look to see me no more, and look that for your own benefit, you remember what is tasked between us.
Must you leave, Jacob?
To join my fellow passengers on our journey through eternity.
What fellow passengers? You want to know who's coming with what told to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What is your business here?
Your mother.
Much obliged. But perhaps one may achieve better welfare from a good night's sleep.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
Where shall we go?
Come. It is time. We shall leave and fly mine.
Out the window?
Yes.
I'm but a mortal, I'm liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand there, and you shall be held more than a friend.
As the words were spoken, they passed through the open window and stood upon a country road with fields on either hand. The city had entirely vanished. Not a vestige of it was to be seen. The darkness and mist vanished with it, for here was a cold, clear winter day, with snow upon the ground.
My goodness. I was bred in this place. I was a boy here.
He was conscious of 1,000 odors floating through the air, each one connected with 1,000 thoughts and hopes and joys and cares, long, long forgotten.
Your leg is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek? You recollect the way.
I could walk the path blindfolded.
Strange to have gone it for so many years. Let us go on.
As they walked along the path, Scrooge recognizing every gate and post and tree, a little market town appeared in the distance, with its bridge and church and winding river. Some shaggy ponies now were seen trotting towards them, with boys upon their backs, shouting to each other in country gigs and carts driven by farmers. Their spirits were so merry that the crisp air laughed to hear it.
These are the shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is not so still.
I know this boy's spirit.
It's well you do. Why is he alone when all his friends have gone before him?
I cannot remember.
But soon you shall. Let us see another Christmas.
Dear brother, I've come to bring you home, dear brother. Home.
Home, man.
Yes, home, forget it all. Home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he was. That home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night that I was not afraid to ask him once more if he might come home. And he said yes, he should. And never to come back here again. But for it we're to be together all the Christmas long.
Has Father found me a position then?
Oh, Ebenezer, here it is, Christmas, and you're thinking about the position. Home, don't you see? And we're to be together.
Oh, Fan, of course. It's good to see you.
Oh, Father is so much more kind and gentle, and I swear he seems truly happy to have you come.
Always a lovely creature. Your breath might have withered. But she had a large heart.
Though she had. You're right. I will not gainsay its spirit. God forbid.
She died a woman and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True. Your nephew.
They had but that moment left the schoolyard behind them. They were now on the busy thoroughfares of the city, where shadowy passengers passed and repassed, and shadowy coats and carts battled for the way. All the strife and tumult of a real city were, but it was made plain enough by the dressing of the shops that here too was Christmas time again. But it was evening and the streets were lighted up. The ghost stopped at a certain warehouse door, and asked Scrooge if he knew it.
Of course I know it. I apprenticed here. Why, it's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart, it's old Fezziwig alive again.
Yo-ho there, Ebenezer, Richard.
Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Bless me, yes. He was very much attached to me with Dick. Oh, poor Dick, dear.
Your mother, my boys, no more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up before man can say Jack Robinson.
Oh, boys, Clarence, why I have such a feast to look for us.
Oh, Mrs. Fezziwig, a feast. I'm sure to be remembered for all times. Listen till next year, eh? Come on, hurry, it's time.
Oh, no, no.
Extravagant, all too extravagant, Mr. Fezziwig.
Nothing I love the costume but small.
I to see the sing and dance so. And did you see young Ebenezer Bell?
Am I do some, my love?
Oh, now.
Small matters making silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small?
Why, is it not? He has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money. 3 or 4, perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
It isn't that, Spirit. He has the power to make us happy or unhappy, to make our work light or burdensome, a pleasure or toil. Say that his power lies in words and looks, and things so slight and insignificant they can hardly be added up and counted. Then, the happiness he gives is quite as much as the cost of portion.
What is the matter?
Nothing at all.
Something, I think.
No. I should like to say a few words to my clerk right now. But that's all.
My time here is short. Quick.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
Belle, this is the even-handed dealing of the world, and there is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes are merged into the hope of being beyond its sort of reproach. I've seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the mass of passion gained engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I have not changed towards you. Am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so, until, in good season, we could improve our worldly fortune by our patient industry. You were changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feeling tells you that you are not what you were. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and how keenly I have thought of this, I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words? No, never.
In what then?
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in another atmosphere of life, and anything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now? Oh, no.
You think not?
I'd gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows when I've learn the truth like this. I know how strong and irresistible it must be. But if you agreed today, tomorrow, yesterday, can even I believe that you would choose a doubtless girl? You who in your very confidence with her weigh everything by gain. Also choosing her for a moment you were false enough to your one guiding principle to do so. Do I not know that you regret and repentance will surely follow? I do, and I release you. With a full heart, for the love of him you once was. You may, the memory of what is past have makes me hope you will. Have pain in this, a very, very brief time, and you will dismiss the recollection of it gladly as an unprofitable dream, once you well awoke. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Spirit, conduct me home. Why do you delight to torture me so? Remove me from this place.
I told you, these were shadows to be considered thin. They are what they are. Do not blame me. My time for you so long.
Awakening in the middle of a prodigiously tough snore, and sitting up in bed to gather his thoughts, Scrooge had no occasion to be told that the bell was again upon the stroke of 1, for he did not wish to hold the second conference with the second messenger dispatched him through Jacob Marley's intervention. And finding that he turned uncomfortably cold when he thought which of his curtains this new spectre would pull back, he put them every one aside with his own 2 hands, and laying down again, established a sharp look out all around the bed, for he wished to challenge the spirit on the moment of its appearance, did not wish to be made nervous and taken by surprise. It was his own room, there was no doubt about that, but it had undergone a surprising transformation. The walls and ceiling were so hung with living green that it looked a perfect grove, from every which part bright gleaming fairies glistened. In easy state upon this couch sat a jolly spirit, glorious to see, who bore a torch in shape not unlike Plenty's horn, and held it up, high up, so that it might shed its light on Scrooge as he came peeping round the corner.
Come in, and know me better, man. You have never seen the like of me before?
Never.
Have never walked forth with the younger members of my family? Meaning, for I am very young. My elder brother is born in these late years?
I do not think I have. I am afraid I have not. Have you many brothers, Spirit?
More than 1,800.
A tremendous family to provide for. Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, but I learned a lesson which is working now. If you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge did as he was told and held it fast. The room vanished instantly. So did the fire, the ruddy glow, the hour of the night. They stood upon a street on Christmas morning, where people made a rough but brisk, not unpleasant kind of music, and scraping the snow in front of their dwellings from the tops of their houses, whence mad delight to the little boys to see it come plumping down into artificial little snowstorms. The grocers, oh the grocers, with 2 shutters down, maybe 1, but through those gaps such glimpses. It was not alone that the canisters descending made a merry music, or that the twine roller parted ways so briskly, or that the canisters were rattled up and down like juggling tricks. The people were so good-humored in the day, they bumped into each other, whacking their wicker baskets wildly, leaving their purchases upon the counter, and hurrying back to get them, committing hundreds of like mistakes. And the grocer's people were so frank and fresh that it wasn't without polished hearts that they tied their aprons behind their backs, might have been their own, worn outside for general inspection, and for Christmas dolls to peck at if they chose. The sight of these poor revelers seemed to interest the spirit very much, for he stood with Scrooge beside him in a baker's doorway, and once or twice, when angry dinner carriers jostled each other, would sprinkle incense on their dinners from his torch, and their good humor would be restored directly, for they said it was a shame to quarrel upon Christmas Day. And so it was. God love it, so it was.
Is there a peculiar flavor in what you sprinkle from your torch, Spirit?
There is. My own.
Would it apply to any dinner given on this day?
To any kindly given. A poor one most.
Why a poor one, though?
Because it needs it most.
Spirit, I wonder why you, of all the beings in the many worlds about us, should desire to cramp these people's opportunities of instant enjoyment.
I?
You would prevent them from dining on the 7th day. Often the only which day they could be said to dine at all.
I?
You would seek to close these places on the 7th day, and it all comes to the same thing.
I see.
Forgive me if I'm not justified. It has been done in your name, but at least that of your families.
There are some upon this earth of yours who lay claim to know us, who do their deeds of passion, pride, ill will, hatred, envy, bigotry, and selfishness in our name, whereas strange to us and all our kith and kin as if they had never lived. Remember that, and charge their doings on themselves, not us.
Showing off his power of his, or else it was his own kind, hearty, generous nature and sympathy with all poor men that led him straight to Scrooge's clerks, for that's where he went, with Scrooge holding to his robe. They stopped on the threshold to Bob Cratchit's home. Think of that! Bob had but 15 bob a week himself. He pocketed on Saturdays but 15 copies of his Christian name. And yet, the ghost of Christmas present stopped to bless his 4-roomed house.
Have
Martha, Tiny Tim, and Martha wanted to wait last Christmas by nearly half an hour. Here's Martha, Mother.
Here's Martha, Mother, for what?
Such a good use, Martha. I bless your heart alive, my dear. How late you are.
We had a deal of work to finish up last night, and had to carry on into the morning, Mother.
Well, never mind, so sit down before the fire, dear, and have a warm dinner. Wait, no, Father's coming.
Hi, Martha, hi.
A Merry Christmas, Billy. Belinda, Merry Christmas. Peter, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Father.
My dear, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, darling.
Well, where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming. Not coming on Christmas Day.
Surprise!
Heavens, Merry Christmas, Martha.
And Merry Christmas too. And Tony, so we
As good as gold, and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful feeling by himself. And thinks the strangest thing to ever. He told me today that he hoped that people saw him in church. Because he was a cripple. And that it might be good for them, on Christmas Eve, to remember just who made Lady Beverly walk in my midst.
Oh, goodness, bless me, goose.
Oh, Martha, you should see it.
And the pudding bar. How come the bubbles in the oven?
It's hard to set the thing to be excited for.
And yet, there's everything in one. Or they have each other.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
Merry Christmas. God bless us, everyone.
Oh, a toast. Mr. Scrooge. I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
Founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a feast my mind to feast upon, and I should maybe have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children. Christmas Day.
It is on Christmas Day, I am sure, when one should seek the help of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know,
My dear, Christmas Day.
I shall drink to his health for your sake, and for the James, not for his. A long life to him, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, no doubt. Have some
Some good news, at least. I spoke with a man today who might have a situation available from Montpelier.
Oh, and news? Go on, Mother.
Well, if obtained, it's said to bring in a full 5-6 pence weekly.
Oh, Peter, just think.
Ah, I wonder what investments were best to consider.
Just think, Peter, a man of business.
Oh, Martha hasn't known it. We've all been working frightfully hard, with Christmas and all. I've earned my 7 shillings a week. Yeah, up to 12 or 14 hours.
Martha, that is right.
Yes, but I intend to lie there for a good long rest during Christmas Day.
Reluctantly, Scrooge took the spirit's robe once more, and the streets dissolved into 100 scenes of once miners in song, once seamen praising the joys of remembrance and company, and lonely lighthouses where brave, isolated men were reduced to tears by the gift of stockings or a cloven orange. Scrooge found himself in the parlor of a home he knew not, but a house he had passed many a time.
You said Christmas was a humbug. As I lived, believed it too.
Oh, what a shame for him, Fred.
He's a comical old fellow. That's the truth. Not so pleasant as it may be. However, he's often scared of their own punishment. I have nothing to say against him.
There are many who have plenty to say against him.
I am going to have naught to do with him.
More's the worse for him, I fear.
I'm sure he's very rich, Fred. At least you always tell me so.
What of that, my dear? You don't make himself comfortable with it. You don't do good with it. You don't have the satisfaction of thinking, ha ha, he's ever going to look at us with it.
But I have no patience with him.
I do. I'm sorry for the old man. He takes into his head to dislike us. What's the consequence? They don't lose much for dinner.
Indeed! I'm sure he loses very much for dinner. You're here.
Let's have a game.
Blind man's luck.
Do I seem like I'm in the prison company? No. Let's play look-about.
No. Last time, poor Grace had filled up room for hours on account of her bad eye.
Yes and no. I've got it.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
A dead animal?
No.
A live animal then?
Yes.
Domesticated?
No.
A wild animal?
No.
Come now, Fred. How can you be neither domesticated nor wild?
Ah.
A disagreeable animal?
Yes.
Swim?
No.
Does it coo?
No.
Does it grunt or growl?
Yes.
Does it live here in London?
Yes.
Does it swim through the sewers?
No.
Then it was walk the streets?
Yes.
Is it part of a herd?
No.
Is it solitary?
Yes.
Is it a tiger?
No.
A rat?
No.
I figured it out. I know what it is, but I know what it is.
What is it then?
It's your Uncle Scrooge.
He's given us plenty of merriment, and it'd be ungrateful not to drink to his name. A glass of mulled wine ready at my hand the moment in time I say Uncle Scrooge. Thank you, Fred. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whatever he is. You wouldn't take it from me, but you can have it nonetheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Much they saw, and far they went, and many homes they visited, but always with a happy end. The spirits stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful. On foreign lands, and they were close at home. By struggling men, and they were patient in their greater hope. In vain man's little authority, where he had not made fast and barred the spirit out. He left his blessing and taught Scrooge his precepts.
You have become gray. Are spirits' lives so short?
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight at midnight. Hark, the time is drawing near.
Spirit, forgive me if I'm not justified, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself protruding from your skirt. Is it a foot? Or is it a claw?
It may be a claw, for there is flesh upon it. Look here. Oh man, look. Look down here.
Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's, and they cling to me, appealing from their fathers. This boy is ignorance, this girl is want. Beware them both, and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doom, lest the writing be erased.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
I am in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You are going to show me shadows of things that not yet happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that some spirit? Ghost in the future, I fear you more than any specter I've seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to be a changed man from whom I was, I am prepared to bear your company and do it with a happy heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on. Lead on, spirit. The night is waning fast. It is precious time to me, I know. Lead on.
They scarcely seemed to enter the city, for the city rather seemed to spring up about them and encompass them of its own act. But there they stood, in the heart of it, on change, amongst the merchants who chinked the money in their pockets and trifled with their great gold seals thoughtfully, as Scrooge had seen them often. Seeing that the hand pointed to a little knot of businessmen meeting, Scrooge advanced to listen to their talk.
No, I don't know much about either way. All I know is that he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him? Never forgot.
God knows.
What did he do with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, perhaps. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know. Well, it's likely to be very cheap, you know. The life of me, I don't know of anyone to go to. I suppose make him a parting volunteer.
I don't mind going with lunches provided, but I must be fed if I make one.
Well, I'm the most disinterested one. For after all, I never wear black gloves, and I never eat lunch. But I'll forgive if anyone else was. When I come to think of it, I'm not at all sure I was in a particular friend. For we used to stop and speak whenever we met.
Speakers and listeners strolled away and mixed with other groups. Scrooge looked towards the spirit for an explanation, but he gave none. Seeing that the hand pointed to two men meeting here, Scrooge advanced to see if the answer might lie here. But Scrooge knew these men also perfectly. They were great men of importance and wealth. Scrooge had seen them often and hoped to find the answer.
How are you? Well, Scratch finally got his own, eh? So I'm told. Cold, isn't it? Seasonal for Christmas time. You're not a skater, I suppose. No. Something else to think of. Good morning.
That was their conversation, their meeting, and their parting. Scrooge looked all around, but he saw no likeness of himself among the multitudes. Although the clocks pointed to his accustomed time to be there, he was not in his corner. He had entered an obscure part of the town, where he had never penetrated before, but he recognized its situation and its bad repute.
Well, very coincidence. Look here, Jeff. You all three met him about a minute.
Well, you could have met him in a place. Come into the parlor. You've been here before, you know. I'm the other two named strangers. Just wait till shut the door for sure. Oh, it's Greece. Huh. There ain't such a frosty bit of metal as it on hinges, I believe. Oh, and I'm sure there ain't such old bones here as mine. We all suitable for our callings. We all well matched. Come into the parlor, come in.
What odds then? What odds then, Mrs. Dildo? Everyone has the right to take care of themselves. You always did.
That's true indeed. No man more so. Well, they don't stand as if you were a white woman. Who's the wife, and we're not gonna pick holes in each other's coats, I suppose.
We should hope not. Well, that's enough. There's a lot for a few lost items such as these. Not a dead man, I suppose.
You want to keep them after you say, but with a little screw. Why wasn't he not through his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have had someone to look after him when he was stuck with them. Instead of lying, gasping out his last day, alone by himself.
Cheers by the devil of spoke. Judgment on him.
I wish it was a little bit of how you treasure. It should have been. You made hands on it. If I could leave my hands over anything else. Open the bundle, Joe, and tell me the value of it. Speak out plain. I'm not afraid to be the first, nor afraid for them to see it. We all know pretty well that we were helping ourselves before we met here, I believe. It's no sin. Huh. Well. Yeah. That's your count. I wouldn't give another 6pence even if it was spoiled for not doing so. What's next?
Very nice, little Joe.
Quite nice, these. I always give too much for the ladies. It's a weakness of mine, and it's become the way I ruin myself. Yeah. That's your account. If you ask for another penny and made an open question, I would repent on being so liberal and knock off half a crown.
Get my gun, Jeff.
What do you call this? Bed curtains?
Ah, bed curtains!
You don't mean you took them down, bringing all of them lying there.
Yes, I did. Why not?
You were born to make a fortune, and you'll certainly do it.
I shan't hold my hand from getting in and reaching out for the sake of such an end as I promise you. Joe, let's put a little on the blankets now.
His blankets.
Who else's do you think? He isn't likely to stay cold back on, I dare say.
I hope he didn't die from anything catching it.
Don't you worry about that.
I asked the father of this company to load it back and such things. He said, all you need is to that shirt till your eyes ache. You will find a hole, nor a better place. The best he had is find one too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me. What do you call wasting it? Putting it on him, to be sure. Somebody was fool enough to do it. But I took it off again. If calico ain't good enough for the purpose, it isn't good enough for anything. It's quite becoming to his body. You can't look any uglier than he did in that one.
You're the one who took his shirt. Huh, we was wondering about that. You gave us all the time when he came back and he was naked.
Scared him all away when he was alive. Only the prophet of him was dead.
Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man may be my own. My own lifetime is that way now.
The spirit guided him through several streets familiar to his feet, but as he looked around, he was nowhere to be seen. He found himself in the home of Bob Cratchit, a dwelling he had visited before, and found the mother and children seated round the fire.
And he took a child, and he set him in the midst of them.
The color hurts my eyes. It makes them weep by candlelight, and I wasn't sure we guys could go out to the world. It must be near his time.
Past the rabbit, he seemed to have walked a little slower than she knew last season with his mother.
I have known him to walk with Tiny Tim on his shoulder. Very fast indeed.
As have I. Often.
And so have I. But he was very light to carry, and your father loved him so that it was no trouble. And that's your father's daughter.
Good evening, darling. Here. Belinda. Martha. Peter.
You went today then, Roberts?
Yes, dear. I wish you could have come. It would have done you good to see how green a place is. But you'll go there afterwards. I promised him that I would walk us down Sunday. My little child. My little child. Do you know who I saw in the streets today? He happened by. And noticed that I seemed just a little down, you know? Mr. Frank. Scrooge's son. From which he's the pleasantest spoken gentleman you've ever heard. I told him. I'm hardly sorry for you, Mr. Cratchit, he said, and hardly sorry for your good wife. If I can be of any service to you, he said, giving me his card, that's where I live. Now, pray tell, it wasn't for anything that he might have been able to do for me, so much as for his kind and gentle manner. And this really was quite delightful. It really felt as if he had known our Tiny Tim and felt with us.
I'm sure he's a good soul.
You would be sure of it, my dear, if you saw and spoke with him. I shan't be at all surprised, mark what I say, if he got Peter a better situation.
Only for that, please,
And then Kate will be keeping company with someone and setting up for himself.
Get along with you, Wayne.
It's just as likely as not. though there's plenty of time for that. But however, and whenever we part from one another, let us none of us forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we? Or this first parting there was one.
No.
And I know, my dears, that when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, even though he was a little child, that we shall not quarrel easily among each other and forget poor Tiny Tim doing so.
No. Never.
I am very happy. I am very happy.
Spirit, something informs me that our parting hour is drawing near. I know it, though I know not how. Tell me what man that was that we saw lying dead. Before I draw nearer to that stone, tell me, are these shadows of what will be, or what may be only? Men's courses foreshadow certain events, to which if preserved them it must lead, but if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it thus with what you show me.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
I am the man who lies upon that bed. No. No, Spirit, no. Hear me. I am not the man I was. I am not the man I must have been before this intercourse. Why show me this if I am beyond all hope? Your good lady, your good spirit, intercede for me and pity me. Assure me that I may write away the writing on this stone. For all of this, I stayed on my knees, oh Jacob, on my knees, and they are not torn down. They are not torn down, rings and all. They are here. I am here. The shadows of what would have been may be dispelled. They will be. I know it. I don't know what to do. I feel as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year to all the world. Oh, there's the saucepan the crew was cooking in. There's the door where the ghost of Giacomotti entered. There's the corner where the ghost of Christmas present sat. There's the window where I saw the wandering spirits. It's all here. It's all true. It all happened. Oh, glorious, glorious. What's today?
Why, today is Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Oh, they can do anything they like. Of course they can. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the poulterers, but one in the next street around the corner?
I should hope I did.
Oh, an intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Tell me, do you know where they stole the prize turkey they had hanging there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What do you mean the one as big as me?
What a delightful boy. It's a pleasure talking to you. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it.
What?
Oh, no, I'm in earnest. Go and buy it and tell them to bring it here so I may tell them where to carry it. Come back in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with the man and I'll give you half a crown. I'll send it to Bob Crackers. He's standing there. Who sends it? Twice the size of Tiny Tim.
Joe Miller never made such a joke as sending Mr. Bob Bobini.
Oh, no, he brought me here.
Ah, well, you can't possibly carry back to Camden Town. You must have a cab. Here you go. Yes. Take it. Merry Christmas. Oh. Oh, hello there. How are you? Merry Christmas to you both. Merry Christmas, my darling. And how do you do? Oh, do you need some help with that? Oh. Ah, Merry Christmas, my darling, and a Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you both, sir. Merry Christmas. My dear madams, how do you do? Oh, I hope you succeeded yesterday. It was very kind of you.
Mr. Scrooge.
Yes, that is my name. Although I hear it may not be too kind for you, allow me to ask your pardon. And of course, you have been.
Oh, Lord, bless me. You can't be serious.
Oh, please, you please, not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you.
My dear sir, I don't know what to say to such generosity.
Don't say anything at all. Just come to see me. Will you come to see me?
We will.
Thank you. I thank you both 1,000 times. God bless you. Your master come, my dear?
Yes, sir.
Where is he, mother?
He's in the dining room with Mrs. I can show you the way if you like.
No, thank you. I can't see.
My Lord!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Who's here?
Alfred.
Bless my soul, who's that?
It is I, your Uncle Scrooge. I've come for dinner. Did you have me?
Uncle, come in indeed.
Oh, my voyage has been too long.
But you're here now, sir.
Might I have the honor of being called Uncle? Fred. I did still love your mother, Fred. So I've come for dinner?
And so we shall dine.
And perhaps afterwards some parlor games. Oh, I do quite like that one. What was it called? Oh, yes and no.
He was at home in 5 minutes. Nothing could be heartier. His niece looked just the same. So did Topper when he came. So did the plump sister when she came. So did everyone when they came. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful happiness. But he was early at the office the next morning. Oh, was he early, for he wished to be there early and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. That was the thing he set his heart upon.
What do you mean by coming in at this hour of the day?
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm behind on my time.
Oh, I shall say you are. A full, let me see, 18 minutes? Step this way, if you please.
But, sir, it's only once a year. I was making rather merry of myself yesterday, sir.
Oh, now listen here. I am not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer, my fellow. Therefore, sir, I am going to raise your salary. Come now, don't understand that. What do you think, Bob? I haven't sent you into that much of a shot now. Come on, what do you say? Bob? Say something, Bob. Oh, yes, Bob, I have not lost my senses. Rather gained them after a very long sleeping, I say. Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary, and I will endeavor to stir up your struggling family. We shall do it all day over a smoking hot bowl of Christmas pudding. Heat up the fire, Bob, and don't dot another I until you've bought yourself another coal scuttle. Bob Cratchit.
He was as good as his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He was as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little hated them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing good happened on this earth, which some people did not have their fill of laughter in the outset. And such as these would be blind to any ways, as have the malady in less attractive forms. His own heart laughed, and that was good enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, and it was always said of him that he kept Christmas well, if any man alive truly possessed the knowledge. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone,